Good afternoon. Thank you. Thank you for joining us here today for the dedication of the Ed Shapiro welcome. Oh, sorry, I got the wrong envelope. That's an homage to the Oscars. Come on. I'm teasing. I have so much cold medicine in me, I could say anything, of course. Thank you for joining us for the dedication and unveiling of the Richard and Joanne Gustafson Welcome Center. It's a great building, and great buildings are built by great architects and great firms, and I want to take a moment to recognize Perry Dean Rogers and our construction partner, Harvey Construction, but also our facilities team and everyone who contributed to this project. As you know, that's the team that also gave us the Library Learning Commons, and I think we are building provocative, bold, confident architecture across this campus, and they deserve a lot of credit. So please join me in a round of applause for everybody who made this building possible. First impressions are almost always the most important, and this will be the first impression that many prospective students have of this campus when they drive up. And to that effect, it is home to our undergraduate admissions office, also to the Dorothy S. Rogers Career Development Center and the Office of Alumni Engagement. And it was designed to get students thinking about life after college from the very first encounter. It's not accidental that we have admissions on this side and career development on the other. We can't have kids enrolling in college today and be oblivious to the sorts of job opportunities and the lives we create for them. So we want to link those and send that message strongly, and this building does that. We want those students to feel supported every step of the way. I'm going to say a little bit more when I introduce Dick. So before we do that, I'm going to ask our provost, Dr. Patty Lynott, to step to the microphone, which I've now infected, and she will have this cold.
Hi, everyone. Well, all right. I just want to take a moment to kind of reiterate something that Paul just said. I want to remind everyone the impact that, in fact, architecture and physical space has on learning, on recreation, on research, on just creating a sense of community. And so our beautiful new Gustafson building is going to be the first physical space that prospective students and their families are going to see. So it's going to create the first impression about the many experiences they're going to have when they become part of our learning community. So that's a very important purpose for a physical space to have. So it only stands to reason that something so important in purpose would be named after someone who has been so important to our history and our development as a learning community. Dick, I just want to say on behalf of all of UC faculty, staff, and students, your imprint has just been indelible on who we are as a community, and we're so happy to be here today and at this event. Thanks.
Before I invite our student Jessica Lant up, I'd like to introduce Senator Lou D'Alessandro, who has a proclamation that he's going to share with us.
Thank you very much, Paul. This is the part of state government that everybody likes. It's a no-cost item. I'm very pleased to be here. Dick is a very close friend, a terrific guy who's done outstanding things, not only at New Hampshire College, Southern New Hampshire University, but at Keene State College and many other institutions as the chancellor of the vocational technical system, community college system. I'm sorry about that, Dick, but I'm an old guy. I've been around a long time. But, and Mrs. Gustafson, wonderful to see you. And behind every man, there's a great woman, so congratulations. Well, I'm pleased on behalf of the New Hampshire State Senate to be here today to recognize Dick for the contributions he made to post-secondary education. I'd like to read this proclamation. The New Hampshire State Senate, a resolution. Be it known that the New Hampshire State Senate extends its congratulations to Dr. Richard A. Gustafson in recognition of the creation of the Gustafson Center, honoring a job well done at Southern New Hampshire University. And be it further known that the New Hampshire State Senate extends its best wishes for continued success and it's signed by Senator Lou D'Alessandro of District 20 here in Manchester. So Dick, it's not a great deal, but it comes with all of the appreciation for what you've done for education, you know, and education is the cornerstone of a democracy. And if we don't have quality education, we're going to suffer. So Dick has given enormously to promoting post-secondary education, quality post-secondary education, and has given an opportunity for all to exercise that option of becoming well-educated. And for that, we owe him a debt of gratitude. The state owes you a debt of gratitude, and I personally owe you a debt of gratitude. So thank you so much, Paul. Thank you for allowing me to be here, and have a great, great American Day, everybody.
So there are actually 4 presidents in the room. I want to acknowledge Ed Shapiro, who was Dick's predecessor. Ed. There's Dick, of course. There's me, and then there's our next speaker, Jess Gallant, the president of student government. Turns out she's the one that everyone likes best, and I think you'll see why. Please welcome Jess to the podium.
Good afternoon, everyone. As President LeBlanc said, my name is Jessica Gallant, and I'm the president of the Student Government Association here at SNHU, and I am humbled to be up here speaking to you all as we officially welcome the Gustafson Center onto campus. As I was going through the admission process about 4 years ago, I was an eager yet slightly unmotivated high school senior. SNHU was the only glimpse of a college I got because it's the only place I toured. Needless to say, I was blown away by the beauty of campus and the genuine feel I got from the students, the faculty, and staff from the moment I stepped on campus for the first time. Stepping foot on campus that fall, I was fortunate enough to live in Tuckerman, the newest building at the time. All of the buildings were aesthetically so pleasing. I was in awe of the campus for the whole entire duration of my freshman year I was there, and I really thought that it couldn't get better than that. I was indeed proved wrong. In the short 3.5 years I have been here, I've witnessed several new buildings go up on campus, with the Gustafson Center being the most recent installment. I am grateful to be involved in different offices within the building as it fosters a unique environment for prospective students to feel welcomed on campus as soon as they get here, for current students to utilize career services to the fullest, and for SNHU alumni to remain connected to the community. I often find myself doing some of my best work and concentrating more when I'm in the Penman Guide Lounge, and I think I can speak for my fellow students and staff when I say that the aesthetics of the building create a productive work environment, whether it be working with aspiring Penman, current Penman, or Penman alumni. As President LeBlanc said, it is no accident that admissions and career development are just across the paths from each other. Students are introduced to our exceptional career services we offer as they are preparing to tour campus for the first time, and that is truly incredible. The sense of motivation and dedication from students going in and out of this building is incomparable. Students are more dedicated to their futures, they are motivated to do whatever it takes to assure their futures are bright, and they are welcomed by an environment that will let them do so. All of this would not be possible without the Gustafsons. On behalf of the student body, I would like to thank the Gustafson family for making this building a reality. The welcoming environment it creates for current students, prospective students and their families, and the SNHU alumni community is something we all cherish greatly. Thank you.
So it's a testimony to Dick and Joanne's presence and legacy on this campus to look around the room and see who's here. So we have faculty who have come back who have been retired. I see Eleanor and Jim Duffy Freiberger. I see Chris Toy. You may or may not know that these were originally farms that Ed Shapiro and family had purchased here in the north end of Manchester, and there's a great picture somewhere of Chris Toy building a stone wall. So a math teacher par excellence and also a wall builder. Ed McKay is here, the Commissioner for Higher Education for the state. Just lots and lots and current trustees. Two of the people who were on the original search committee that hired Dick those many years ago are here. That would be Brad Cook and Ray Trunsolito. So a lot of legacy, a lot of love in the room, and certainly enormous amounts of respect. If I can share with you, when I was a candidate for this job, I was meeting with the search firm person, a woman named Nancy Archer-Martin, who's still a friend. And I said, and I knew Dick from afar, and I knew the institution from afar because I sat on the NEASC Accrediting Commission. So I said, in the middle of this conversation, which I had more and more interest, so what's Dick going to do? And she goes, well, he's going to stick around, and he's going to be a resource to the new president. I said, okay, so what other jobs do you have available? Because that almost never works. And really it's true. Anybody who's studied this will tell you that almost never works. I have been blessed. This has been the best colleague, thought partner, supporter. I couldn't be more pleased to have Dick as my predecessor, but also as somebody that I can rely on all the time. And so much of what we today get credit for had its roots with Dick's work here at the university, whether it's distance education, competency-based education, which started with our 3-year program many years before. Certainly the broadening of our international work, which started with that and continued under Dick. All of these things have roots with our predecessors. And I think it's important for people who are new to the institution, and there are a lot of new people at this institution. We've hired a lot of people in the last few years. But it's important for us to take these moments to celebrate the history and the legacy of the people that come before us. We don't get here on our own. We get here on the shoulders of the people who came before us. And I can't imagine a prouder legacy than the one that Dick and Joanne bring to this work and bring to this place. So it's a huge, huge pleasure and an honor to be able to name this building for them. I was going to read these other details about Dick's life, but it started to sound like a eulogy, where he was and what years. And you know, the real story of Dick's life, I think, for us, begins with John Miles and George Larkin, who's here, and people who took this place when higher ed was going through a very challenging time, and a lot of places were struggling, and they rebuilt, and those days were slogging days when you revisit the history, when you hear about the kind of conversations of bankers and lenders and everything else, and they built strength upon strength to a place where we had really a launch pad for this sort of rocket ride that we've had in the last few years. So that's, for me, the real story of Dick's legacy here. It's his work that made all of this possible. So please join me in welcoming Dick and Joanne to the podium.
I got nervous before. Paul said he was going to give a eulogy, and I know they moved the body earlier, so I'm really getting nervous. But as you can well imagine, Joanne and I are deeply honored by this recognition and give thanks and appreciation to President LeBlanc and the Board of Trustees. And we're also honored beyond words to have so many of you here, fine family and friends, and that's what really makes this event special to us, sharing this milestone with each and every one of you. Certainly, my wife Joanne, who is not behind me, but with me all the way through our 16 years here, we had a terrific run, and we're proud of what we were all able to do together. And need to mention our family, who probably saw us a little less than they wanted to in those years, but my son Richard and his wife Pamela, my son Peter and his wife Tana, and our 2 granddaughters, Kaylin and Elsa, just got back from the theater. Thank you for being here. And some very close friends of ours that have been with us for many years as well. Dr. Abraham Haddad from Worcester, who was our best man at our wedding when we were young graduates out of Boston University. And Marianne and Bob Serino. Marianne was Joanne's roommate in nursing school at Mass General a number of years ago. And David and Wendy Segala, friends of ours from high school. David and I were in first grade together, literally in the middle of the last century, so that was some time ago. But while we appreciate this recognition, we really view it as honoring all of those who are here at the university for those 16 years. Their dedication and hard work, in many ways, as Paul has said, formed the foundation for what the university has become today. Names like George Larkin and John Miles and Ray Trunsolito, who are here with us this afternoon, Jackie Mara, Bob Doucette, Dorothy Rogers, Chris Morris, Bill Green, Kim Zackles, Rick Kudamarsh, Brad Cook. All of those are people who worked with us day in and day out to make the university what it is today. For the last 85 years, this institution has had a history of balancing its mission to the market and rebalancing it as times have changed, but always continually innovating and working toward educational and access for all people. As most of you know, when Mr. Shapiro founded his college in 1932, he had more evening students than he had day students. He was already signaling this was going to be a different place than a normal college or university. As time went on, New Hampshire College continued to innovate with satellite centers, offering intensive 8-week programs, welcoming international students, and serving our military veterans more than any other institution in the state. When we came to the college in 1987, we knew of this history, and we strived to continue to innovate. As Paul mentioned, those were not easy years early on. There were enrollment pressures that we and all others faced, financial problems that many of us faced. John and I would stand quarterly before 5 banks in the area to show them our revenue and expense. One Friday, there were 4 of the banks gone and only 1 left. They should have been reporting to us for those. But as Paul mentioned, we took the long view. We wanted to build a deep foundation for the future at this institution, rather than simply bringing in the flavor of the month. We elevated our accreditation standards, started the 3-year program, brought in more international students, and the acquisition of much of today's land holdings were done during those years as we consolidated to this single campus here. We initiated the distance education or online program in 1995. Others thought we were crazy. We expanded our academic programs and added to those and moved them up to the doctoral level, and we achieved university status. People said, who the hell do they think they are? Our work fundamentally transformed this institution and repositioned us in the marketplace. And we're an institution that always kept its eye on the horizon as it does today. We were not really concerned what people were doing around us, and we very seldom looked in our rearview mirror to see what was behind us. We were going forward at all times. President LeBlanc and his team has continued this transformation beyond all of our imaginations. He intensified the innovation in the online space, created College for America, and because of this work and more, SNHU now enjoys a national reputation for innovation and cutting-edge programming all across the country. We could not be more proud of what he and his team have accomplished. To serve as president of this special institution for 16 years was a privilege and honor I will always cherish. The recognition of the Gustafson Center will likewise be something that Joanne and I will remember with fondness for the rest of our lives. We thank you all for coming this afternoon and sharing this special day with us. Thank you very much.
Both sides. So now we'll unveil, now we will unveil the plaque that will be here on the building. Please, I think you guys should have the honor. So it says, for those of you who can't see in the back, this building is dedicated to honor Southern New Hampshire University's 4th president, serving from 1987 to 2003, Dr. Richard A. Gustafson and his wife, Joanne. Their unwavering commitment to the students, faculty, staff, and alumni of the university is their legacy. So, I just want to share that I find this plaque mildly disturbing. I'll have 14 years this summer, and I did the math wrong. I thought 1 more year, I got Dick beat. Damn, it's got 3 more years. Now we'll do the ribbon cutting. This is going to be on this side. If you guys would come over here. And then we'll invite you all to congratulate Dick and Joanne. There's refreshments in the other room and tour through the building.
I just want to make one.
Oh, sorry.
Excuse me, I neglected to mention one thing. A number of you talked to me earlier about the portrait, And the artist, Richard Whitney, is here this evening. Richard is the portrait artist. He's done a number of them for key people. And Dr. Richard Whitney, he has a doctorate from the University of New Hampshire. Thank you, Richard, for coming. We appreciate it very much.
That's great. Bye. So that brings the formal program to an end. As I said, there are refreshments, and also our admissions tour guides will be stationed throughout to assist visitors. If you want to do a walk around, tour the building, we have people stationed around. It's a lovely, lovely building. I'd urge you to take a few minutes to do that as well. Please join us in here.